Welcome back, Tribe. I have an episode here that could be potentially interesting. It went viral, and it says AI ruined my life. So I'm actually curious what happened to this guy. Have not seen it at all. Let's get into it.
AI has ruined my life. Now, I know that might sound dramatic, but let me tell you why. First of all, I want to say the reason people watch videos where it's just a person talking to a camera, and the reason that's made a big comeback on YouTube is that everything is synthetic, artificial, manufactured, and only made in order to make money on social media nowadays. So this is all we got left. Me having a human to human conversation.
It's a good insight
to talk about this. So all throughout my life, I've done many creative professions. I used to make music videos. I wanted to be a director of photography, which if you don't know is pretty much like the head of the cameraman in a video production. I used to be very into video production. But the common theme of my life is that I've always loved creative endeavors and projects. I made some money with video production. It was all right. But then after I had about 3 clients in a row that ended up paying me less than minimum wage for the hours I put into it, doing the best work I could with 6 years of experience and a camera that is Netflix certified.
Oof.
I had enough. I couldn't do it anymore. It was something that just kept happening to me. And that's when the competition with automation started. So even back then, this was only about 3 years ago, I noticed that people started to make comments, clients started to make comments, I can just do that with this tool. You don't need to edit with Premiere. I can do this in CapCut.
Sheesh.
I have an iPhone camera. It's pretty much just as good. Basically, as a professional, I've always loved to make things perfect to the level of quality that I wanted.
I wonder, side thought, who's going to be the first to make like a reaction/commentary channel with an AI avatar, but it looks real. It's like me speaking like this, me speaking to you guys, looking in the camera, like, well, doing stupid reactions, jumping around like a fucking monkey and just being entertaining, but it's something only a bot would do. No self-respecting human would dare do some shit like that. Or it could do some things that a human couldn't do, right? Like it could go into be a 3D animation model of something because people latch onto, they humanize anything. I'm curious because that day is coming. Somebody right now is designing an AI avatar of a human being or an animal or something, furry fucking creature, something, and they'll anthropomorphize it and game over. That's it. You got an audience that's locked in. They love the content. They're entertained better than some people do reactions or commentary or just like any kind of content in general. Explainer videos, how-to, talking heads. It doesn't matter. That day is coming and it won't seem so weird. I know a lot of you that are tuned in right now might be, older and like, I can't know. I want a real connection. I grew up with real people. I don't need to watch some weird fucking caricature of what a human is or some anthropomorphized being that's created. Get out of here. I'll get my news. I'll get my information. I'll watch commentary and reactions from actual people, blah. But the kids don't care. The kids grow up on this technology. For them, it's already normal. It's normalized in their lives. They're probably already developing cartoons or just cartoons in general. That human-like characters there that were not humans at all. Now imagine you go into adulthood where you get more and more mature content through the ages as you're growing up. That's just those kinds of characters. Not too crazy to really imagine that kind of future, guys. And what is that going to do to the jobs? So this guy's out of his job, essentially. That's what happened. He's gotten replaced already. But it's coming for all of us, every single one of us. Honestly, it seems like the only escape is buy land, go out in the countryside, live off the land, and take your government stimulus check, your little universal basic income. Once AI becomes on the level of a human being with reasoning, I'm talking about for complex tasks, not some like large language model that predicts the text that needs to be filled, like genuine thinking where it can problem solve like that on the fly and do advanced tasks, fit inside a robot or some other machinery. Oh my Lord. Oh, that day is coming.
That's professional. And that means fine tuning very little things in a form of craftsmanship
An artist.
to make it perfect. And the problem is a lot of people don't notice that stuff and they don't care. They don't care about craftsmanship anymore. It's about production. It's about produce.
Efficiency.
Meet the damn quota. Get this content out. And so I had enough with video production. A little before then, I started on TikTok. Don't click out, okay? I'm not a cringy TikToker. I just made videos that were creative. It was my creative outlet, and I really enjoyed it. I did that start TikTok at the December of 2018. So that's been about 6 years now. And I got success on TikTok. I got about 430,000 followers from that.
Okay.
But there's something that happened around 2022 that just made TikTok stop being fun to me. And that was that AI tools and things like CapCut started to become mainstream, which made it so everybody can do this. You know, it doesn't matter if it low-key looks like crap. And I'm not judging people, but that, like, if it's 80% there, it's good enough. Post it. You know, for example, there are a lot of examples. So basically, I've been trying to run for the last 3 years from the mass acquisition of skills, lowering the bars for skill sets to the point where your skill set suddenly becomes useless. And AI has been central to doing that to me. And that's the main theme of this video, and that's the problem that has basically been messing me up for 3 years.
And they're accelerating. OpenAI just dropped O3 Pro mode. Google just dropped an update to their VO3 model where you could generate fast instances, essentially turbo mode. It only costs 20 credits. For those that don't understand what that means, if you've been seeing those Yeti or Bigfoot videos or like the fake interviewer or talking heads or street interviews, like, we're AI, this is only a prompt, help us, or the Bushman / camper Bigfoot videos, they've been going viral with Yeti and other creatures. That's all done with something called Google VO3, and it only cost 20 credits now to generate. When it came out, which was only like a week ago or so, it cost 300 credits. Then they updated it. It was 100 credits. Then they just updated it again with a turbo model, essentially fast generation, and that's only 20 credits, same quality. You sign up to this Google AI Ultra plan, costs something like $250 a month. Right now, they have a deal for $125. It's half off, but you get 12,500 credits, and now they cost 20 credits each to generate those viral videos that are generating people tens of thousands of dollars in income. And you just need a good idea, learn how to prompt with VO3. Google keeps iterating updates constantly. The product barely came out. It already got an update. And you get, as of right now, I think that means you have 600 something videos that you could generate before your credits run out and they reappear the next month, refill. Guys, we're doing a lot of stuff in the private community dealing with stuff like this, AI. Those videos that he's talking about, huge right now. Again, 11 Labs, a AI voice model, was just updated to their version 3 or whatever it is, alpha build. It's only an alpha build, and the voices sound fucking real. You can't tell that that's a bot. You know those cringy monotone bot voices we used to have? That's gone. They emote. You can make them sigh. You can make them scream. You can make them laugh. It adds music in the background. The voices sound terrific. There will be explainer videos that you like to watch, like why this economy is crashing, with a voice that's narrating everything, and it sounds so crisp and clean and emotive, real, not monotone, robotic. A year from now, it's going to look insane. 5 years from now, I can't even fathom what 5 years from now looks like. If AI is already creeping into your job, if companies are adopting automation in any way whatsoever or running some sort of back end localized models, you're fucking up next, bro. It's coming. It's a matter of time. This is the scary part. I don't think people are really, really aware of just how transformative this is going to be in a very short amount of time. And companies are always looking at their bottom dollar and figuring out how to maximize profit. Entire departments will disappear overnight. These models are very close to doing it, like paralegals and shit like that. Imagine in law firms, giant law firms, every single paralegal will disappear. Every single lower tier lawyer will disappear. You're going to have one lawyer that essentially operates with like 10, 20, 30, 50 paralegals and junior lawyers under him. He's able to get that much work done. His day is coming. HR, that day is coming. There will be no more HR. It's all going to be automated. Mid-level jobs, all those cubicles you see where people basically push numbers into Excel sheets, that's it. Those are gone. And that's just the white collar work. Oh boy, even blue collar is at risk still.
So what used to be skills, and a great example of this is Vine. Back then, not everybody could be a Viner. If you remember the Vine days, believe it or not, there was actually a lot of skill that went into making Vine videos and even Instagram videos. You had to know how to edit. Not everybody could make good videos on social media. But then once CapCut became mainstream with all of its AI tools, everything became, completely easy. Anyone can do the same things. So now that everybody is on the same level and editing is easy, making a video is easy, buying equipment's easy, all of a sudden, the competition increases so much that there's no barrier to entry. And I know that having a low barrier to entry might be a good thing. But if you think about it, I think there should be barriers to entry because it makes you put a stake in the game. Beforehand, if you wanted to be good at video production, you had to learn a lot, or social media, like videos. You had to learn a lot of skills and spend a lot of hours to get those skills that set you apart from other people. And any old hack that wanted to join, again, I'm not judging people, but any person that just wanted to grab some money, they couldn't just quickly do that. They had to learn those skills. And because people that want money quick are not willing to put in the time to learn those skills, it weeded all of those people out. So the people that made it to that level of knowing all of these skills required to make good content and good videos and any good creative output, there's a lower amount of them. And it was easier to get attention because you earned it. You deserved the attention because you worked hard to get the skills required to get that attention. So now what happens when everybody is a hero? No one will be, to quote The Incredibles. Basically, when everybody can make content to almost the same level, now people are going to compete in a much dirtier way, in a much more scammy way. They'll go to different lows. One way that this manifests is people on social media that are willing to do stupid things like eat a Tide Pod as an outdated example, or whatever stupid thing they can think of. In a way, I respect that because at least you're still putting some skin in the game. You're doing something that most people don't want to do. But the problem is when TikTok came out with its monetization, as you know, a video cannot be monetized until it reaches a minute. So now all of a sudden, with all these AI tools that have leveled the playing field 100%, now people are willing to just repost content. It all just goes to the lowest level.
Mm.
And what's upsetting for me is that on TikTok, I would be trying to put some good work into my videos.
Yeah, I think I know what he's talking about. For example, you ever seen those videos where it's like a face, like somebody, they're pointing here and they make stupid faces, but the whole clip is ripped from something else. But this is the whole video. They're like pointing while something is being said, and they go like this, and then they go like this, and like, oh my God, yeah, and like that's the whole video. And I'm like, bro, get your fucking face out of the way. So it's only a 60-second clip. That's what he means. Videos like that. Or if you've seen the split screen style where there's like a 60-second clip playing and then there's like a video game that's doing like something with a car racing through a maze, some shit like that. And because that's the brain rot. That's what you have to do to keep people's attention. People will hear what's happening up top, but that's too boring because watching people's boring. But if you watch somebody try to complete some racing game, he's like racing through a maze, that visually stimulates you. So your auditory stimulation, visual stimulation combined in the split screen format, and the videos were going viral. That's insanity. And then there's even worse slop content coming out with those AI video generation models. We were getting into it in the private community. It's bad. I don't have the videos on hand, but if I showed you some of these like 10, 15-second clips, geez Louise.
And effort. And basically, you post something you put a lot of hard work into, and it gets treated the same as something that's more entertaining, but was stolen. Now, people don't care about hard work, which is actually fine. I'm not here to say hard work is, if someone makes a crappy video, but they worked hard on it, it is a crappy video. But what I am saying is that you can't compete with people that don't make anything. Like, you can't, as a creator, it's not very easy to compete with someone else that just reposts clips of other people that worked hard and steals their content, like clips from TV shows or
Yeah.
this or that. All that stuff took tons of skill and skilled people running the cameras, writers.
I personally know dudes who run Faceless YouTube channels where they take the kind of clips he's talking about, news reports, for example, or other famous people doing dumb shit or whatever, gossip stuff, and they're making well over $50,000 a month. They take the clips, a voice narrates, or it's just a bunch of clips in between, right, with B-roll and all that stuff, and it's very simple. The clips are maybe 8 minutes total when you put them all together, chopped up, 8 to 12 minutes, and they're making over $50,000 a month. And that guy can produce endless amount. You just go to Twitter, you just go to the news section and see it. You just go to wherever you want to go. Whatever is happening right now, that like the Diddy trial, whatever people are into right now today, the spectacle and the show that we're living in, if you could condense that into an 8-minute video, you're going to get paid. That's it. That's it. And all you need to learn is basic editing, bro. Like cut, paste, move clip over in a time. I mean, the very basic. Drop a decent background song in there that you could get for free off of YouTube. It's done. All the clips are already online for you to rip. The amount of money people are making with that like race to the bottom content style is mind blowing. If you really saw what some of these people were actually generating in revenue, then you have the people that do the 60-second clips. They'll generate like the Yeti and the Bigfoot. They're making tens of thousands of dollars on those views. It takes 20 seconds to generate that video. 20 seconds, bro. And you just superimpose like 5 clips total. Yeti's got a fish. Yeti climbs a rock. Yeti is fishing himself, right? Hiking through the woods, making a funny joke. Use ChatGPT to help you write your Yeti jokes or your Bigfoot jokes. Then you generate the video model. With the video model, post, boom, millions of views. If you haven't seen these videos, just search Bigfoot hiking or camping. Just search that in the search bar of whatever you're using, whether it's Instagram, X, even Facebook. It's everywhere.
All types of skills, money, investment, years of hard work. And then you got a person that comes along, takes the clip, makes a couple of alterations just so they can barely monetize it. And then they make thousands of dollars from it.
You're not lying.
And the truth is, if those people were not present and behaving in such a way, all the people that wanted to put hard work into their videos would actually get a lot more success, because once again, we'd be in a smaller group of hardworking people and the supply and demand would be different.
Competition.
So
AI is
then
crazy.
I pretty much quit TikTok because I realized I can't compete with all of this automation. These people are essentially.
You should have dropped your quality a little bit, meet what the market likes, the demand, and used AI with your skills already to produce a ton more content because it boosts your efficiency. They don't have your eye. He shouldn't have quit. And I know some of these creatives are super fucking anal about the videos they make. Like, it must be my way. It must be perfect. But like you said, if it's 80% of there, post it. So he should have used AIs to start mass producing content. That's 80% as good as what he's capable of doing, and keep rolling the fucking dough.
Some of them have automation processes that make videos for them.
Yeah, that exists.
And they've made thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And basically, you can't really compete with that, can you? If you want to make your own content, at the very least, it's going to be a lot harder. So then I worked for a YouTube channel as a writer. I'm not going to go into the specifics of what channel it is, but they're at about 600,000 followers now. When I joined, they were at 200,000 followers. I worked for them for about 2 months. And when I worked at them, they jumped up about 200,000 followers more. I wrote scripts for these animated videos, and basically, to this day, the script I wrote for a series that I'd been wanting to make in some way or another for the last 4 years, it really took off. It got 3 million views.
Damn.
We made a second video, and that became the second most viewed video on the channel, or at least the top 4. I got paid the same flat rate.
Shit.
Based on the math, those 2 videos alone that I wrote the script for made, with the sponsor, at least $80,000. And I got paid $280 for each of them. Although I did negotiate a bonus for $200 per million views, although the guy hasn't paid me for the 3 millionth view. I guess he owes me $200. So, and the second video, he didn't give me the bonus. So for the first video that got 2 million views, I got a bonus of $400, which was cool. Haven't been paid for the 3 millionth on the first video. That's happened since. And
a great example why people become entrepreneurs. I swear to you, I had the same issue, but in construction. That's why I started my own business. I was selling for a company. I was project manager officially, but I was also doing estimates, and I'd go to people's houses and sell the work. I was selling the work and then some. They're called addendums, stuff you add on top that I noticed, because they'll call us and they say, I have a crack in my house. I need it fixed. Can someone come give me an estimate? And that crack turned into 10 other fixes that I tacked on and convinced them to do, which they needed to do. But, was talking, gift of gab, made them feel comfortable, told them the realities of, if you don't do this repair, how much more it could cost you in the future. Just bunch it in with this. I'll give you a discount, blah, blah. I turned over millions of dollars for this company. You know how much that owner gave me extra as a bonus, like a percent for each addendum I sold? 0. I made 0 fucking dollars for being a good boy and a hard worker. Why do you think I did it on my own after that?
And the second one, he hasn't paid me any bonus. Now, why do I say that AI ruined my life? Because this was a great job. Then my grandpa died and I took a week off because it really messed me up. When I came back, he fired me. The reason AI messed me up though, is that this guy then used AI based on the scripts I already wrote to make more lower quality videos,
infinite amount.
keeping the same series going. He's gotten millions of views ever since,
There it is.
making maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars based on the brand that I originally helped to make with the scripts and my idea for it. It's a series. And he replaced me with AI.
Shit.
No cost to him.
$20 a month, technically.
So then I thought, well, I'll do Amazon KDP. Amazon KDP is publishing books on Amazon because it looks like I have a knack for writing. And that's where I am right now. But the more I watch these tutorial videos, the more I realize that
AI is coming for
you
that too.
just need to make essentially. All right, here's what messes me up. These people on YouTube or whatever are using AI to write books.
Yep.
That's just not something I want to do. I don't want my portfolio to just be full of AI slop. I want to write things that mean something. I want my words to be relatable to humans, and I want it to come from the soul. And the more I watch these videos, the more I realize that these gurus on YouTube got rich from searching keywords and generating a book.
SEO slop. Yeah.
I can't compete. I just simply can't compete. I can't write that fast. I published my first book and it's got 0 sales, and that's
Dude, if he already had a series on YouTube that made a guy $80,000 on just 2 videos, that should have been like a light bulb moment of you going into doing this for yourself. I don't understand why I don't get the mentality here personally, because I went through what he went through, not with AI, but just a greedy owner doing the same shit, paying me an hourly rate. Why don't you do it yourself? You already have the creative's eye. You already know how to edit. Now you can write fucking scripts at a high level, and you have proof of concept because it worked for another channel. Why the fuck don't you have ChatGPT? Why don't you already use other AI tools to help everything in your brain come to life? This is the shit that I don't get. You see, AI is going to start taking jobs. It's common sense to go, what jobs seem to be going first? We thought the creative stuff would be last, like the animation, the design, thumbnail artists, for example. I'll tell you, for YouTube, straight up, I used to have thumbnail artists. I used to have video editors, and both of them got replaced by AI. I can literally input I need a YouTube thumbnail for this, that, and that, and it'll create a badass YouTube thumbnail. Done. I used to pay $15, $20 for those, right? Each thumbnail that was being used. That was thousands of dollars a month. If you're making upwards of 6 videos a day at one point when I was live streaming, that's what I was doing. Then my video editor was charging like $2,000 to $3,000 a month too, just to do basic edits and maybe some cool intros. AI's taking that over too. The basic editing is already done. Soon it will know how to edit the video and give you a cool highlight intro. It transcribes the video and it figures out the good highlight portions. Same shit for the shorts. I used to pay $15 for 90 shorts a month because I used to post 3 a day. So that guy was making over $1,000. So that's what all that shit was costing me back then when I was using all these people. Now you have like they have an AI that takes your video, watches it, creates clips for you, even will add B-roll soon automatically. Adds the captions, everything. It takes the camera and it centers it on you if it's not shot in, vertical like a phone. And if you move around the screen, it will also resize the angle to be following you on the screen if you shot in wide. We're already there. Most of the work's done. These people's jobs were the first to go right away. I don't have Photoshop skills. I can't do what my thumbnail editor used to do. He had incredible skills. He could design some cool looking shit, but his jobs got taken over. I don't have advanced editing skills. I don't know how to do some of the crazy shit. I've looked at tutorials and saw how people do those advanced editing for crazy high retention. I said, fuck that. It takes too much time just to edit one simple video. And why pay a guy out so much money? People will watch it if it's good. And soon AI models will be good enough to add the kind of, retention effects that you need in these videos. You know, the zoom in, that your face gets big real quick, the like crazy shit, like a meme pops up on a video, all that stuff that takes time to do, automatically will be placed in a video. That's just on the content creation side. I told you in the real world, because I don't consider this the real world, but in the real world of jobs by corporations in cubicles, huge conglomerates, like a lot of that shit, they will downsize and automate with AI. It's coming for all of us. It's not just this guy. That's the problem. It's easy to go and look at him and be like, well, time to get a real job. You know, there's some fucking boomers out here. It's like, guess you got to do some real work now. Huh, youngin. It's time to put some calluses on those hands. Not knowing like your boomer ass skills would have got replaced, bro. Mailman is about to get automated. It'll be a little automatic car like fucking Waymo, just delivering your mail straight into your mailbox. What other boomer jobs you had in your fucking corporate office, or you just pushing fucking paper all day, would have disappeared? You can't even compete. Half these boomers can't open emails. But I know there's going to be some talking shit. Hey, time to get a real job. Bro, you guys were whining when the S&P 500 was crashing because Trump instituted tariffs. And they're like, my retirement. Time to say hello. Welcome to Costco. Welcome to Walmart. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. The future is not pretty for people that have to live through it at the advent of AI, unless you start utilizing that shit. I'm telling you, we're going to have two classes of people. Those that use all these models and advanced state. I'm not talking about asking AI or talking to AI like it's your fucking girlfriend, some goddamn gooner shit. I'm talking about using AI to better your life, help you create tools, develop applications, shit like that. They can code now. They can't one-shot entire applications, but golly, they can design web pages. They can design crazy shit. We were doing it in the private community. I think we were doing using Claude. I told it to design like a 3D model of the solar system, that each planet is clickable and that you can zoom around the solar system. It did it in one shot. One shot, we were watching the solar system, all the planets rotating around the sun and shit, and clicking on them, and it would give you also a random fact every time you clicked on the planet or the moon. And every time you clicked on the planet or the moon, you got a random fact about said planet. That's insane. I did that with one prompt. You know how many hours, weeks it would take to develop an application that can do that? It's you have no idea how wild this shit is. If you've been using the free versions to just ask it stupid fucking questions, you're using it like a monkey uses a fucking stone. You know, you're like using it for the most basic shit ever. Instead of refining the stone, breaking it down into its like metallic components, what you can get out of there, right? Processing that stuff and creating something like a chip or a tool. That's the delineation between, you know, your brain dead user and the people that are going to become millionaires or hyper productive because of this. And the world is going to be even worse, the world of tomorrow, for the people that don't, because you won't be able to compete. I think a bunch of job openings right now, I believe for Shopify and some of these a bunch of online companies say like all the hiring packets for people now say that you must have AI experience, must be able to utilize AI. It's already becoming a standard for getting hired. Gosh, it's coming.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not here to complain, right?
Let's see. He's saying, live through the golden age of the internet and seeing it turn into a soulless corporate wasteland is heartbreaking. I worked in animation for more than 8 years. Then our studio got defunded. Now I'm a kitchen assistant. Unbelievable. As a musician, I feel your pain. And we literally went from starving artists to starved to death artists. Yeah, the musician stuff is game over now as well. There is AI that you could just tell it what kind of music you're feeling, the tempo, the beat, the theme of your video, and it'll create a song for you. An original piece. Game over. And this guy says, at this point, it's beginning to look mighty interesting to just go join the Amish. I hate everything about tech these days. Yeah, it's a tool to be used. Like the internet, people were hating the internet when it first came out and mocking the internet, saying, what's the point of the internet? The same shit that they're doing with AI today. Very interesting times that we're in. Anyways, thoughts? Are you guys utilizing it today, or have you completely shunned it? I know some people are like, I'm not ever going to use that stuff. I have no use for it. I think that's a huge mistake. But for those that are using it, what have you used it for? How have you used it at work? And what kind of work do you do? I think those answers will be interesting because it doesn't have to necessarily be part of your job prospects of what you have to do, your responsibilities, but people have begun implementing these already. Seeing like, I saw photos of the doctor chatting with ChatGPT after a patient was giving him symptoms of whatever was ailing him, right? Can you imagine that? Your doctor's chatting with ChatGPT to check in on a prognosis. That's insane. Anyways, there it is. VO3, less money. People are already talking about it right here. Unreal, boys. Look at this video. The AI girlfriend apocalypse. You see, it's coming. Anyways, We'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care of yourselves.